YouTube, my name is Bacon Thief, and today I have Ari.
Hi.
Today's topic is going to be something that we have both experienced, which is depression, and also
This side of depression, which a lot of people experience, and it's self-harm, but a lot of people are kidding me.
I understand our pain.
Alright, so self-harm is something you do when, your depression is, it's getting the best of you, and you really have nowhere else to turn because you don't know how to handle all these feelings and the sadness that overwhelms you, and you just feel really, really down on yourself. And then a lot of people take it as far as suicide, and that's really, really sad. That's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, so before we even get into this topic, I just want to say none of you are alone. There are people everywhere that is suffering from depression, self-harm. It's more common than you really think.
I mean, I thought that I was alone for the longest time, and then I really started talking to my aunt, and she's just really been great and stuff.
Yeah, she's technically my niece.
Step-niece. Yeah, but she's not old, so
yeah, I'm 19.
It's by marriage. So.
Yeah, step niece.
Yeah,
but
I'm almost 16, 15, almost 16. So
yeah, programs out there for people to need to talk to someone. They need to feel like they're no longer alone. Even smaller people, like smaller run companies that just formed a community, and so that you can just talk to people. Blake Bliss, he's one of the people I used to watch all the time. He would do Beyond Obscurity videos, and he would give tips to people, especially about being alone and contemplating suicide. And so he formed a community website.
Blake Bliss was so short. It was so short. It made me feel better because I'm short.
Yeah, he made that so then people could come on there and just talk to someone, just go into a positive environment. And that's what I want my community to be about. I want there to be positivity.
Another thing people do is if you have friends on Facebook, and they're also they have these pages on Facebook where you can join or be invited. People will invite you, and they're suicide pages, and you can you don't really post anything on there except for positive stuff, but you make group chats and stuff where you just kind of talk about what's happened so far and what you're feeling inside. I never really did that, but I have a lot of friends who love to do that. So.
Yeah, it's definitely good to reach out and try to be with other people who are going through this, because it's definitely better than going through it alone.
Oh yeah, I went through a lot of it alone, because I didn't know that Caitlin had depression, and I had horrible depression, and I was dealing with self-harm, and I didn't know any of these things. I didn't know that I could have these hotlines or stuff like that, because I was so scared. I was scared for myself, and I was scared for what other people would have to hear and how that would scar them. So
yeah, both of us have suffered through depression. Mine has been more during my adult life. It kind of started when my parents first divorced, and then once my brother left the house, it was even more depression because I felt alone. I no longer had my brother to help, and then a whole bunch of other stuff happened, and then there was just the stress of adult life and just trying to figure things out to help yourself, that it just kind of spiraled out of control to the point where I had considered suicide. I'm getting better though. People around me have helped me. They have told me that, you're not alone. They have told me that whenever you get down into these points of your life, you just stay calm and you think about how this isn't going to last forever. This is going to blow over. This is just life right now, and it's not going to stay this way. You're going to get through it. It's not going to kill you. The stress, it's hard, but it is manageable.
The way Caitlin's depression started is a cause of a lot of depression, because divorce rates are past 50% now, and so that's the way a lot of depression starts, and I totally understand that. My parents, they aren't divorced though, but my depression started like, I guess you would say like 6th grade, and I wasn't one of the popular kids, you know. I was always kind of stand out in the crowd kind of person, and people would make fun of me and they would say stuff to me so often that I started to believe it. And it really, really got to me. And see, because once people start saying words to you and they say them so often, you really start to believe them yourself, that you are those things, that you are ugly, you're fat, you're nothing, you're worthless, and you know, you really start to believe that inside. And I had a problem with that. I believed everything people told me about who I was, and I didn't believe anything inside that what my heart was telling me who I was. And I got so depressed because I got so confused with my heart telling me one thing and people telling me another, and my mind wanting to believe everybody else. And so I started to believe these, you know, you're ugly, you're fat, you're different, you're, you know, dumb. And people would try to help me. They would be like, you know, they're just jealous, blah, 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 blah. Well, you gotta understand that it doesn't really help a lot at all. And then my depression also, like, it spiraled out of there, and I was depressed enough, and then problems for me started happening at home. Everybody was yelling at each other. People would, you know, hit each other and stuff like that, and it really bothers me. And I used to get like hurt a lot at home, and so I never really felt like I had a safe place to go ever in this world. Like, I mean, I kind of still feel that's the way, but I like, once I got to high school, I was like, you know what, I'm not sequestered with, you know, my own grade and stuff like that, like I was in middle school. You had to sit with like your own grade at lunch, blah blah blah. And in high school, when you get there, you can sit with whoever you want, be friends with whoever you want. And so I started making friends with like a lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, people that were older than me because they were more mature, and then a lot of them kind of understood what I was going through. But like the crowd of people that I hang with now, they're a really, really positive group of people, and most of them have never been through depression. So me still trying to get over it now, like this group of friends, like they don't really help, but I guess they can kind of understand because they help bring me up when I'm down. I remember 1 year in 9th grade in band, my band director noticed that I was feeling really down on myself, and I was feeling, you know, really sad. And he wanted me to come to his office. So I went to his office, and, you know, we just kind of started talking. And it turns out that he had also dealt with depression in his younger years, and that really helped. Because I know, like, it's been going on for a lot way longer than just my life and everything. And I know that, like, thousands, millions of people have gone through it, and I'm not alone. I start to hurt myself until problems at home really began sprouting. I remember, you know, one time somebody locked me in the bathroom, and, you know, the razor blades were sitting right there, and I just kind of started, like, I had never done it before. This was the first time, and I just kind of started cutting myself and hurting myself, and I found that it helped to bring all that pain to the surface. It helped me to feel like I could feel something. Even if it was pain, like I could feel something. But this kept on, and I kept hurting myself, and I kept getting scars on myself, and I would have to wear long sleeve shirts and long pants, and then I found a way to make the scars fade and go away. So those faded, those went away, and I started wearing shorts and short sleeve shirts again, and then it got to a point where I started doing it again and again and again. And then One of my friends in middle school, she noticed, but I guess she wasn't really my friend. She was kind of mean to me. But she noticed, and she took it to the guidance counselor, and I hated that so much. I was like, why the hell would you do that to me? I want to keep it inside, and so she took it to the guidance counselor. And what really got me is my mom. I had told her before that I self-harmed, and she said that I was doing it just to get attention. Like, I did it just, I was just saying that. I didn't really hurt myself. She didn't ask to see scars or anything. And it took the guidance counselor and my therapist to get my mom to believe that I was self-harming. And my mom's one of those people who, won't believe something you tell her unless she have cold hard proof, and I did. But she didn't want to hear anything of it. She didn't want to see him. She just wanted me to go away. So I went away and I self-harmed more. And so it took the guidance counselor for her to believe that. And then, I went to a therapist, and I went to a therapist for a couple of months. But this therapist was, he was kind of terrible, because everything that I'd tell him about my inside and my truths and stuff like that, he would tell my parents. And my parents would he would tell them everything about my inside feelings. And then, they'd yell at me for feeling those things and for feeling that way about them. And, like, I shouldn't feel that way, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help the way that I feel about you guys. Like, it's just how I feel about you guys. And you guys have proven to me, obviously, right now, by yelling at me, that you aren't very loving.
Yeah, that's one thing. When dealing with suicidal people, depressed people, never get angry with them. Never yell at them. Never tell them that they are just doing this for attention, just doing it just to be spiteful, just doing it to hurt them. Because that's what happened to me when I came to my dad and I told him that I wanted to commit suicide. He said that you're just telling me that just to hurt me. He didn't actually believe that that's what I wanted to do.
How crazy is that? My mom said the same thing about me cutting myself. The exact same thing. She said, you're saying this just to hurt me, number one, and number two, you're doing it just to get attention.
Yeah, people are very emotional. That's not something that's gonna help them get out of that point in their life. Best way to really help someone is just be there, love them, show them that this image that they have of them, show them I actually really do love you. I may be annoying or nagging sometimes, but I really do love you. You don't show
you don't be
the bad
hateful.
side.
You don't be hateful towards a person who's dealing with this, because then they're just gonna want to go and do it more.
And telling someone that they are weak for wanting to end their life, saying that's a weak way out.
They've just been too strong for too long. That's all. Obviously, if they're fighting this and they're dealing with depression and self-harm, they've been really strong not to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Like me and Caitlin, we've been really, really strong. And those who do commit suicide, it's because they feel like they have no other way. They feel like they have no other way to be happy other than to die and get it over with. Understand how much it could hurt someone if you say, go kill yourself, or, faggot, or you're gay. Spiteful, you're gay. Like, that's so mean.
They think it's just words, but they're words with meaning.
Mental scars take years and years and years to heal. Like, my mental scars are still wide open, and they should be shut by now, but they're still wide open.
Yeah, depression's not something that you can get over in a day. It's not something that you can start getting over whenever you talk to a counselor. You gotta be able to heal yourself. Other people won't be able to heal you, but then again, you can have other people as your support.
You can't just tell a person, get happy, be happy, because it can't happen. No, they'll fake a smile to make you believe that they're happy or they're doing better. Because that's what I did. That's what I did, and I'm still not 100% fully better. I'm doing better than I was.
Mainly at nighttime for me, when my depression starts kicking in, when I'm alone with myself and I have time to really think over everything. That's usually when my depression starts to kick in. And some nights I don't even sleep, and so I do still have nights where I get very depressed and I'm still going through it, but I'm stronger than what I used to be. I'm not having emotional outbreaks that my dad and stepmom anymore. I'm starting to control my emotions better, and I'm starting to get like a more positive outlook on life. I'm trying to get my positivity back.
When you're alone with your thoughts, that's the most dangerous time, because then, you'll start thinking, who am I? Am I worthless? What have I become? And stuff like that. And I used to think that way, like, I used to be such a happy, like, little girl. Like, when I was 5 and 6, I used to be really, really happy with, like, the world, and, the world was perfect, it's not cruel or anything like that. But when I started learning the world and learning everybody else who could be so mean in their words, self-harm is just, a lot of people deal with it, and I'm slowly but steadily getting better. I cut myself the other day. I did it once, and then I looked at it and I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this to myself and hurting myself because of what other people say. And then I thought to myself, they deserve to be hurt too. But then, after I said that to myself, I thought to myself, well, they're probably already hurting inside from somebody. Why would they need to be hurt more by me?
Yeah, that's the thing. People who are bullies are usually already hurting themselves, so they take it out on other people. When I was younger, I was very violent. I just didn't know how else to take out my anger, my emotions. I was just very violent, and so. But as I got older, I became kind of the anti-violent person. I almost never strike out on anyone, and if it is, it's because I'm trying to get away from them. That's like the only time that I will ever strike out against someone is because they're about to harm me. Murderers, they are always people with psychological problems. There's never someone that is normal and they can just hurt people. Like, there always is some kind of psychological problem behind it. So a bully is pretty much just, like, if they continue down this path...
It's like an amateur murderer.
Yeah, if they continue down the path that they're going and they never mature, they never grow out of this state, they could very well turn into the next murderer. They could very well do that because, domestic abuse.
Yeah.
That they're abusers.
Me and Caitlin both have been through, like, very mentally abusive relationships, and we had to get ourselves out of those because that was hurting us more than we intended. But I think we're both kind of like blinded by the fact that we loved them so much, and we thought, this person can't really be capable of this, it must be something else. And then, once you start to mature in that relationship, you think, this is really this person hurting me, and I really need to get out of this, but I don't want to hurt this person. And that's always been the problem with me. Like, if I get into a mentally abusive or a physically abusive relationship, I'm like, I don't want to hurt this person. They're already hurting themselves, and they're hurting me, but I don't want to hurt them back. Like, why do they don't deserve that? So that's always been the problem with me getting out of mentally abusive relationships, because I don't want to hurt this person any more than, they're going to hurt themselves.
For me, there was just one mentally abusive relationship, and that was the one that lasted for 3 years. So it was very emotionally breaking, and it was really hard to pull myself back up from it, because it's 3 years of abuse. Like, you don't think that you should, like, there's no fighting back at that point. But honestly, if it hadn't been for a couple of my friends, they actually got me out of it. And they're like, you should not allow this to happen to you. You need to break off all contact with this person. And this person started following me on Facebook all the time. And they were trying to add me as a friend. And so it was actually like 2 months ago that I actually decided to finally block them, so they cannot send me friend requests and cannot send me messages.
My first mentally abusive relationship was 1.5 years long, and it was actually my first significant other. And like, because it was like my first significant other, I was like, oh my gosh, this person is everything to me. And I kept it up for 1.5 years, and like she said, it's not even at the 3-year point where you start to just not fight anymore. It's like probably after 8 to 12 months,
Maybe like 6 months, half a
that
year,
you can just stop you stop fighting back because you realize it's just useless. They're gonna keep hurting you mentally anyway. And then this person also happened to be physically abusive to me, and I got shoved and hit a lot by him. And then after that, I started getting to really, really, really bad relationships. And then it started getting worse and worse and worse, and to the point where, you know, people started calling me a slut because my relationships would last like 2 weeks, and that was only me getting stronger, because if I started to date a person and my judgment about them was wrong and they were really hurting me, I had to get out of it as soon as I could. And so people would start calling me a slut and like a hoe and stuff like that, and really, really hurt me. And that also helped contributed to my self-esteem and my self-harm issues. And then I found probably 3 guys I actually loved, and the first one, his name was Justin, and then Benjamin, and then Caleb. So those were the 3 guys I actually loved, and all 3 of them were a little mentally abusive in their own ways. A lot of people would say they were the sweetest guys on earth, but once you really get into it with them and you're really private with those people, like why people would start calling me a slut and stuff, because they didn't know what was happening behind this wall that I created. So
yeah, everyone can see an image differently. Everyone can put an image out there, and everyone can see that image differently.
Yeah,
I mean, someone can be abused, and someone can think that, oh, you're just a slut, you know. So it's like that. So people see different people differently.
People see the image that they want to see. They don't see the true image of a person until you really get to know that person. They see an image that they want to see, and that's called judgment.
It's jumping to conclusions before you even.
Judgment really hurts people. It's something that I have really, really worked on, because I used to judge people like that, and I've really, really worked on that, and I don't judge people until I really, really know them. So to get down to like the point of things, me and Caitlin have like grown so strong in these last couple of years. We've grown so strong, and we're getting better. Like, I don't self-harm as much. I mean, and if I do try to self-harm, I'll do it like once or twice and be like, who am I? Remember who I am. You know, remember who you are inside, and you're not this person. You're not a person who wants to hurt yourself.
Yeah, like I was just about to say, whenever I start getting down now, because I kind of forgot this, I think about my brother, because I only have one sibling. Well, I have 2 siblings, but one is deceased, but that's for another video. But whenever I feel down, I think about my brother, and like how much it would probably crush him to have me out of his life, because he tells me all the time I'm the best sister in the world, and you know, I don't get those compliments very much anymore. And so when I think about my brother and how he used to say that to me all the time, it just makes me go, yeah, there is someone in my family who still does love me. There is someone that's always kind of been there for me and still always wants me around.
There's, like, when I think of my little brother and my little sister and my older sister, like, they are probably the best people in the world. And Caitlin, too. Like, I know she's not my blood relative, but she still is, like, one of my best friends, like, for life. And, I think about like how sad they would all be, and how much depression I would cause by being gone.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I don't want to carry on this chain reaction of depressing somebody else because I'm gone, and making them sad because I'm gone. I mean, I have to tough it through for their sake and for my own. So.
Yeah. Suicide doesn't only affect one person. I mean, my dad's already lost one daughter, and he used this against me on the day that I wanted to commit suicide. But he said, I already lost one daughter. I don't want to lose another daughter, but it's ultimately your choice if you want to commit suicide, which kind of crushed me. But yeah, it is true, though, that my dad would lose another daughter. So, you know, even though me and my dad don't always get along, I'm still his daughter. He still loves me. And I gotta support my sister. I gotta support my sister's spirit and stay here. And and be good on this earth, because I know she's looking down on me. So, as another person. Alright, so we gotta wrap it up here because my camera is like, no more! So yeah, we try to keep it as positive as possible. You're not alone in what you're going through.
There's always hope. There's always hope somewhere. You just gotta find it.
We love you. You're a beautiful life. You're a beautiful life, and make the most of it.
Your life matters to us, okay? It really does matter to us.
And there's plenty of people who love you for being here. Alright, so that's all for today, guys.
Love goes out to y'all. Woo!
Bye. See you guys next time. Bye. Or punch a pillow. Pillows don't care. But if
Them pillows have feelings too, Caitlin. Gosh.
just full of feathers.
You know what? They have feelings too. Okay, I can't do that. Okay.
This isn't that kind of show.